You guys are relentless. You really wanted me to do a reaction on the BGYO incident. So for those of you who don't know, especially the non-Filipino followers that I have, BGYO is a boy band in the Philippines. They're great. And they had an interview. They were interviewed by their manager, actually, and it was posted in their TikTok channel. And in that interview, the thing that circulated is the specific part in this interview that they allegedly blamed the fans of SB19. SB19 is the most popular, most successful boy band in the Philippines, called SB19. Their fandom is called 18. So apparently allegedly in this video, they blamed 18 for, I guess, their not so fast rise to success, and they feel that they are being excluded in this P-pop movement. P-pop stands for Filipino pop, the same way K-pop stands for K-pop. So I had to watch the video. Somebody sent me a link, and this is my reaction. Okay, first clarification. They didn't name specifically 18. So again, 18 is the name of the fandom of SB19, and SB19 is the biggest boy band in the Philippines. So the thing that circulated is that they blamed 18 for excluding them in this movement and for whatever else. So that's inaccurate because they did not name anybody. They mentioned SB19 to say that they are fans of SB19 and that they admire SB19 basically, but they didn't name anybody. Second, I did not feel that they were blaming them. They expressed their frustration. And we do need to understand that everyone feels that. Anybody, or at least almost everybody, that would be a subject of hate or destructive criticism or bullying, of course, it's natural for them to feel angry or frustrated or sad even, but they, at least from what I understood of what they said, they weren't blaming anybody. Okay, so this is a part of the actual interview.
Aming may ayaw sa atin compared sa iba. Parang hindi part ng P-pop rise na yun po yung nararamdaman namin.
Gets, but ang laki ng inis talaga ng mga tao.
Now, the question really is, of course, it is their emotions are valid. It's natural for them to feel frustrated or sad. The question is, should they have said it out loud? Okay, now, I don't know the intention of the interview. Some people said that this was an effort to try and address a controversy because a previous member, an ex-member of the group, left. And people think that he was bullied by two of the current members. I don't know anything about that. You guys told me about it. So I have absolutely no idea about it. I don't know if this interview, apparently they didn't talk about that controversy for a long time, if this interview is actually an attempt to address it. But it did feel like during the interview that Lauren Jogi, the manager who was interviewing them, was actually trying to egg them on to talk about their emotions. He's asked them about haters, negative comments, people criticizing them. He asked the question several times. So it felt to me like he was really asking them to talk about it. Maybe because he knew the boys needed to talk about it. Maybe he had another agenda. I have absolutely no idea. All I'm saying is that it felt like he was actually encouraging them to talk about it. Now, the members could have answered it in a different way. They could have said, yeah, we're sad about it, but we're taking it as a challenge, or, you know, phrase their words or their thoughts another way. Instead, they decided to be spontaneous. Now, had I been in the position of the boys or the management company, because the management company could have decided not to publish it unless it's the boys who's actually controlling their own narrative. Now, if I were the one that's advising the boys, I would have advised against publishing that part of the interview. They said a lot of good things during the interview that really revealed how resilient they are, how hardworking they are, how focused they are with their work. I would have cut that small part of the interview and published everything else. And the reason I would have said it is because the reason I would have advised them against publishing it is simply because I feel like the they were able to express their frustration already, right? In that interview, they were already able to express their frustration. They do not need to broadcast it to the whole world, because I don't know what end that meets. Like, what objective does that fulfill? Saying that, I don't know if it fulfills any kind of objective. But then again, I might be missing something because I don't know. That's again, I have absolutely no idea what the objective was of the interview.
Direct sa kung paano sila, like kung paano yung pagkatao nila bilang troll fan po. Kasi yung mga ganun na ang dami nilang say sa ibang tao na wala namang ginagawang masama.
Okay, I have a theory, and I think a lot of you are going to disagree, which is fine. I welcome discussion, but please make it a discussion, no bullying or whatever. But I think Filipinos don't resonate with people who position themselves as a victim. And I will explain my point of view. We move on pretty quick as people. We're very forgiving. I know, and that's very evident in our history. We do not hate the Spaniards. We do not hate the Japanese. We do not hate the Americans, despite of everything they did to us. We don't hate them. And a lot of people have told me you're not forgiving. You think low of yourself, so you don't think that anybody owe you anything, so you just move on to whatever. The point is that we move on as a society pretty quick. And partly, I think it's because of our close connection with our family, because we feel like it's okay. I will always have that home I can go home to, a family that will always love me and support me and help me. So we don't necessarily need the sympathy of other people, because we have our own people that will always be with us. And that has really allowed us to take responsibility for our own actions. And that really, I hope, is something that we don't lose ever. I have another theory, and that is that we are so used to hardships that this is just another Tuesday for us. This is just breakfast for us. So we feel like, especially if the person positioning him or herself a victim is somebody, we feel that that person has more privilege than we do. We don't understand, like, why do you position yourself as a victim? You have more privileges than I do. If there's anybody who should be playing victim, it should be me, right? And in that, because they are celebrities, so we feel that they have more privileges than we do, that they get more things than we do. And in that specific moment, just several seconds, it felt like they were blaming other people. So Filipinos, a lot of people didn't take it well.
Atin na malaki din naman yung tulong nila, like inspiration na nagawa para sa atin, di ba? Kaibigan din naman natin sila. Pero may mga...
Now, early in the video, I said I'm not really sure of the objective, why ABS-CBN decided to do this interview, why they decided to publish it, and why Lauren Jogi, the manager, decided to ask questions that he asked. I have a theory, though, and some of you are not going to like it. I think it's as simple as marketing. This is a controversial topic, and this is going to catch attention. So he wanted to use it, and the boys are good, they're talented, and so he knows that some people are going to check them out, and some of them are going to be converted into fans, which is good. And in general, anything that creates buzz is good, because that's going to call attention. That's free marketing. Now, of course, that's a double-edged sword. If you call attention, then people are going to come, and not everybody is going to be nice, right? This actually leads me to my next point, fan wars. Fan wars aren't new in the Philippines. We've had them. I mean, from the time of Nora Honor and Vilma Santos, two of the greatest and most successful actresses of all time, their fans have been fighting. You have Judy Ann and Claudine Barreto, and then most recently, Kathleen and Nadine, right? So the fans, some, not all, but their fans have already been fighting. So it's not entirely new. What is new to us is this level of involvement, and that fact that it's happening in the music industry. It didn't used to happen this way before. And so we don't really quite know how to handle it yet. And so for management companies like ABS-CBN, they don't know how to train the artists, how to prepare the artists for something like this, because it hasn't happened to the music industry in this way and in this intensity. And also, this generation has something we didn't have before, and that is phone, internet connection, platforms like TikTok and Twitter, that allows them and makes it easier for them to just say whatever it is that they want to say and not suffer the consequences. Before, just 5 years ago, it wasn't this big, right? It wasn't the technology and, the fast internet. It wasn't this great, fast and whatever yet. And so all of this, we're pretty new in this. And it's as the technology develops, as internet connection becomes faster, as more people have more phones and computers, then a lot of people are going to will start participating in the discussion online. And so because as I've said, we haven't had this before, nobody knows how to train the artists on how to prepare for this. Now, the good thing is that we do have a case study, K-pop. We know the trajectory. We know how it developed. We know the problems that they encountered. So we can put in place first, from a legal perspective, we can put in place laws and regulations that would protect the artists, the fans, and of course, the investors, because we need them for this industry to actually grow. We can study what happened to them and see the problems that they encountered, and through regulations do our best to actually avoid those problems. And maybe fast track the growth by doing more of the right things that they did. Now, second is that for the management companies, they can learn from the management companies in Korea. I think many of them are actually importing a lot of experts from Korea, but then they can train the artists on how to first mentally and emotionally deal with something like this. As I've said, it's not easy to get hated. So it would be that now we're starting to experience it, but we also see it in Korea. They can put in place programs that would allow the artists to have the mental and emotional fortitude to deal with these issues, and they can also train them on how to act, how to behave, and how to talk when they are encountering fans that are hating or questions in situations like this. Now, I do think that as fans, there is a role that we can play, and it's pretty important. I think that if there are people using the platform to hate, to criticize destructively, to make noise, then we can use the platform to do the opposite. Then we can use the platform to say good things, to extend kindness, to be compassionate, to encourage people to discuss, to be understanding. After all, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Now we know how abusive and brutal people can be online. Then we can do the opposite. Be kind, be compassionate, be understanding. Discuss instead of fight. Now, I'm not saying that, as I've said, had it been my call, I wouldn't have allowed that interview to go out. I know a lot of you are going to say, oh, that only proves their character or whatever, which I think to a certain degree is unfair. Again, a lot of people feel frustration, anger. That's natural. We all feel that at some point. We don't want a single mistake to define our whole personality. And in that interview, they said a lot of good things, It was just 5 minutes, maybe less, 2 minutes, where probably they allowed their guards down. It doesn't make it right, maybe, for a lot of people, but I don't think that we should hold it against them for the rest of their careers. Let it be a lesson for them and for other people if we think that what they did is wrong. But I hope we don't hold it against them for the rest of their career. They are young, they are talented. They deserve, if we think they did wrong, they do deserve a second chance. We all have, at some point in our lives, we got second chances, third, fourth, fifth. So let's be generous and give that to them. That's my take. I would love to hear your thoughts, and I hope that it's going to be a discussion. Please don't fight. No bullying, no cursing. I'm going to be very, very strict in the comment section. Leave them in the comment section below, your thoughts. As I've said, just be respectful. You can get in touch with me in any of the social media links that you see on your screen right now. And I hope that if this resonated with you, if this helped you, if you found it interesting, please give this video a like, and of course subscribe and hit that notification button, and share the video if you can. Thank you. I appreciate you.